David. You're a very funny man. Appreciate the intro. And thanks for welcoming me to Oklahoma City. I didn't hear anything that Joe said, so I don't know anything about negative Google comments. Never heard that before. Honestly, afterwards, if anyone has questions that fall outside of the scope of the presentation here, I'm happy to answer them, whether they're negative or what you might have heard or something you think might be happening. Always happy to answer those questions. So business development in the digital age is going to be the topic of my presentation. My name's Josh again. I'm a digital ambassador for our Google AdWords product. So yes, I work for Google, but I do not know everything about the company. Specifically, when some people have complaints about SEO or other things, I can usually speak to it, things like the keyword planner change or ETAs, things like that. But feel free to ask me those kind of questions afterwards, definitely. Okay, so agenda. I will start with what we have at Google called Micromoments. Some of you may have heard that term before. It's a behavioral change that we've identified with our consumers. Next, we'll go into search trends that we're seeing right now. Third, we'll talk a little bit about YouTube and what's new there. And then lastly, going into strategy. What do you need to know specifically to act on this information? So, micro-moments. How our biggest opportunities are found in the smallest moments. A micro-moment is, at Google, we call this an intent-rich moment when someone turns to their device to make an interaction. We're doing this all day, every day. Most of us, I don't know about most of us, but a lot of us wake up to the phone as an alarm and go to sleep with that same setting that alarm on the phone. So from a digital perspective, we've never had a medium like that to market to our people, to our consumers. So three main signals that have really changed that and caused this micro-moments name that we've created here. So first, immediacy of action. People are not as brand loyal, almost not brand loyal at all. They're acting on a stimulus whenever they have the urge. As soon as I want a pizza, I'm looking in my phone, and whoever's closest is who's getting my business. This kind of parlays into all other industries too. People are very much more flippant, and our attention spans have waned considerably. But with that immediacy of action, we still have high expectations. We don't want friction. We want relevance. If I looked for red shoes, I want a page that has red shoes. I don't want to see all your dresses and shoes or your specials, because if I want that, I'll ask for it. So my expectation is high for relevance. Frictionless experiences, what that really means is, in 5-10 years ago, we might have had a drop-down list with all these great features on our website. When people are engaging with us with mobile devices, they don't want all that. That's friction. If I've got to click 4 times to get what I want to buy, I might go somewhere else to do it. The third thing is unscripted decisions. This is happening in the moment. If you've been the king of brick and mortar in town for 30 years, and someone today needs your product, they may not care about that at all because you weren't available on their cell phone search when they needed it. So earlier this year, we went over the 2 trillion mark, which enables us to say that we now have trillions of searches made globally on our platform every year. 40,000 of those happen every second in our country alone. And that speaks to the fact that this is the new, it's not just the new Yellow Pages or anything like that. It's really the place where people go to make all of those interactions and purchases. In fact, mobile devices have taken over half of that search traffic now. And in some industries, it's as much as 60 or 70%. So I want to show you a quick video that details some of the micro moments that we're talking about here and how they look in real life. So the shift has happened very quickly, and one of the problems we have with that is the fact that marketing spend and marketing efforts have not moved into that space with it. We're not aligned just yet. So speaking to these moments, there are 4 game-changing moments that we've identified that really matter. The beginning of that funnel, that search funnel, I want to know. When someone's looking for something but they're not ready necessarily to buy, they're looking for information, they're curious. From there we go to I want to go, at which point they start looking for a specific business or a specific solution for their question, their problem. From there, I want to do, someone actually wants help completing something or trying something new, and then I want to buy, obviously probably the most important moments to us. We want to identify what leads to that and not just go for that end of the funnel conversion information. So micro moments, key takeaways, be there. Anticipate those moments for your audience. Commit to being there when they have those searches. Again, if you've been doing it other ways and been very successful, today you may lose that audience if you're not doing digital advertising. 2, be useful. Provide an experience that's relevant to them and give them those answers quickly. Again, we don't want to see drop-downs. I don't want to go through your bio and see how many colleges you may have attended. As a consumer, I want the content that matters to me. So be useful. And what I mean there is be useful to me as the consumer. And 3rd, be accountable. Create that seamless experience. Measure the impact across them from the beginning when they're curious all the way to the end where they make that purchase, because there are a lot of signals within that we can market to and ultimately get them into our clientele base. And again, with cross-channel, a lot of people are using a cell phone to start that interaction. They're going home, they're finishing on a laptop. We're making these interactions on different devices throughout the day. It's not just happening on one device. So next topic, search trends. I want to talk quickly about some of the things that we've launched in search and a couple of the holiday trends that we're seeing as well. I think most people know about ETA. We'll talk about that in a minute. But when it comes to the holiday season, it's just around the corner, and we want you to do 3 things as a business owner. Budget to keep your store open, meet the shoppers at those right moments, and have a strong presence on your digital shelf. So this is kind of what I mentioned a minute ago with the device. I'm starting over here. I might then go to the computer. I'm going to look for some more information later on my tablet, and ultimately I'll make that purchase at some point. But that journey is more complex now, and at Google we have ways to show you what people are doing throughout that process, which allows you to market, of course, to that. So first off, we're expecting higher purchasing intent this season than last season, and in fact, a lot of people think, well, Cyber Monday's big, Black Friday's pretty big, but the truth is that actually goes for quite a while. We see very good conversion rates throughout mid-November, almost all the way to the end of December. So from a marketing standpoint, we don't want to think of it as this 5-day window between Cyber Monday and Black Friday. We also want to be there at the right moments. Online video, we're going to talk about that in a minute a little bit more, but people are going to YouTube to find information for all kinds of things. It's not just the brands in the industries you think, it's everybody. If you don't have video content that you're leveraging on YouTube, it's a very good idea to start doing that, and we have a lot of reasons why. But 90% of us are not even sure what brand we're going to use when we go onto that search. So the brand loyalty is sort of out the window, and this is your opportunity as a business to take customers who may have been loyal to another brand that built that relationship over years by being there digitally, by being where they want you to be when they're looking for that need in the moment. Third, among top retail categories, the words best are growing very quickly. So people are wanting the best pair of shoes, the best dress. Similarly, we see a lot of growth in near me, nearby, open now, proximity searches like that. People want that answer as soon as they can get it. Third, have a strong presence on that digital shelf. Get all your products live. I've got 2 slides here that I'll go right through, but you can work with a company like Weum to fix issues that you have with ads. At Google, we're always there to manage those kinds of concerns. And there are a lot of reasons why ads might have issues. Here's an example, some disapproval, cause and solution, and in here as well. And this relates specifically to Google Shopping. So again, I won't touch on these too much, but always a solution to fix the ads when they're not working. So expanded text ads, we recently launched this as a solution to essentially cater to mobile users and mobile search queries. A lot of people think that it was done for other reasons, but the truth is, you're getting greater ad copy here. You're also getting a full extra line on a mobile search, on a mobile ad of text, which a lot of impact there for you as an advertiser. The additional headline is a big part of it, and the increased descriptions lines as well. We're giving you more real estate. We want that interaction to be better for you and for the consumer as well. So some benefits to that for the advertiser. You've got control of more copy. Obviously, that's great. A longer message to give people, and a clear landing page. You've got that URL as part of it as well. Currently, before it was launched in beta, we had good numbers as well, but even since, we have very good click-through rate numbers on ETA ads versus standard. So while a lot of companies are converting over, it's important to recognize the value of it, and really, again, it caters to mobile. Most of your searches are being done on mobile. We want to give them a better experience when they find that ad that you've put on there. And that additional line over existing text ads on mobile is the paramount reason. That's the #1 reason why this was done. So if anyone has other speculation, ideas on why that might have happened, that's really the driving force. We want to make sure that the mobile experience is very good. We're big on UX at Google. Keys to success with ETAs. Start with your priority ad groups and then expand to other campaigns. It's a good idea to roll it out slowly. It's a pretty big change to the way search works. It's a great opportunity, though, to refresh creatives and create better ads. Now, a lot of people may have done that weeks before we launched it. That's an unfortunate timing issue, but this is not going away. So continue to use all the ad extensions that we have, and then ensure that your campaigns are always on during the holiday season, especially to capture those additional clicks. Best practices, quite a few of those. Focusing on the user is very important. Again, we want to make sure that we're curating content that they're interested in and not necessarily expounding on what we do best. We want to make sure that we don't have them for very long, so we want to make sure we catch their attention and use best practices on these ETAs to get them there. Now, everyone's going to have access to this deck through Big Wing afterwards. I've got a few checklists and things that might be useful to chew on later, so don't think that we're going through it too quickly, because you will have that information later as well. YouTube. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. A lot of people know that. We bought that company a while back, as Joe mentioned. YouTube has a ton of reach, and right now our TV audience continues to transition into YouTube as their primary channel for viewing media. So we want to impact those decisions by giving them video reasons to take action, giving them a snapshot of what we are, who we are, what we do. And then, of course, with AdWords and Google, you can always measure and optimize the results that you get from any of our platforms. Very important to us. Transparency is critical. So a couple different formats on YouTube that you're familiar with. Skippable, these are the ads that you can click skip ad. You are not incurred a charge when you do that, when your customer does that. Clickable, in display, those are ads that show up below another video that you can click on and start to watch that one. And forced ads. So we recently rolled out a new ad called bumper ads. That was in June. Those are the 6-second ads that you cannot skip. What bumper ads typically do, and I'll talk about them here in just a second. So we'll skip over that for right now. But 41% of people are taking action as a result of a video ad. Video has become very, very relevant to our customers in that they're going there very often. Again, second largest search engine. A lot of times that means people are using YouTube to make a search for a product they want to buy. So we can't ignore that as a relevant channel for marketing. So that's kind of the stuff we already know about YouTube. It's big, it's growing, TV's moving over there. But what's new, we want to encourage people who are not advertising on YouTube to do that without having to spend a lot of money. A lot of the aversion to advertising on YouTube is the fact that video production costs a lot of money, and a lot of people don't want to spend that to get into that space. We launched an app in May called YouTube Director. It has 3 different functions. One, auto director is for apps, so if you're marketing an app, that's really good. Not as important as the middle here, YouTube Director for Business. This is a free app that you can download today or anytime that will actually show you how to go through the process of creating a video for your business, a very professional, commercial quality video that you can then put on YouTube and advertise with. The app is free, and it's a very intuitive walkthrough. It's for people who do not know how to use video production equipment. If you have a cell phone, that's all you're going to need. Director on Site is still in beta. It's out in 6 cities right now, but that's essentially the same thing with live support. Hey, I'm going to come out to your business and show you how to make a video so you guys could be advertising on YouTube. The middle one is the most important. I think that affects most people. But with this app, it's fast. We've got ready-to-go templates in there. If you've got a bakery, if you've got a real estate office, there are different templates in there that are ready to go. Again, it's free. You don't spend a dime for doing it. And you don't have to advertise on YouTube to use it either. Obviously, we would like that, but that's not required. It's also very easy. No video editing required. It shows you how to do it, and very, very cool app. People are getting a lot of value out of it so far. Bumper ads is the other thing I mentioned earlier. These are those 6-second unskippable. So it happens before another video, and what most people do from a creative standpoint is they're using these unskippable 6-second bumper ads to refer to a main ad that they have running. It's sort of like a teaser. So if you had a big movie, Universal released a movie called Zootopia, and they used bumper ads to feature each of the characters in the movie and get people curious about what this was. So as the bumper ads sort of lead you to the big video, it's a great way to boost your engagement. These are actually sold on CPM basis, so because they're unskippable, everyone's going to view the ad. They serve more frequently than other video formats because they're so snackable, is a word that we use occasionally. And mobile is the reason. Mobile, again, is kind of the driving force behind a lot of our changes. But in this case, people don't want to, attention spans. They don't want to watch a 30-second, a 2-minute video all the time. We want to give them a reason to ask more, to look into it a little bit more. So strategy. 4 things from a digital standpoint that you should be doing today. Be there, be useful, be quick, and connect the dots. We've talked a little bit about the first 2. But more specifically, people just are not brand committed. And when we have that opportunity as marketers, we can not pilfer traffic from somebody else, but if a company is not advertising online, they're not owning that digital presence, kind of like with the MailChimp example, you can ethically find ways to advertise to those people to bring them to you because someone else is not owning that digital presence. So people aren't brand committed. You have a real opportunity to get those customers from another brand that might have spent a lot of money to market in other ways. Because you're doing it this way, you're more relevant to a user. 1 in 3 of us say we've purchased from someone else than the one we initially tried to go to because the information was better. So again, very flippant. We don't have, these decisions are unscripted. If you give me a better answer while I'm looking, I'm going to jump ship and go over there. Because being there drives brand awareness. You get quite a big uptick just being visible in those mobile search queries. It's very critical. And we've been pounding the mobile conversation for a year or 2 now, so everyone should know that, but very, very important. So key questions about being there. Consider the most search topics for you, for your brand, for your industry, your category, and make sure you like what you see when those searches happen. What's the share of consumer intent you're capturing with your marketing strategy? So some businesses don't actually have a very large mobile audience. I recently talked to some osteoporosis clients. Their client base is over 55, and about 2/3 of them use desktops. That's not the normal audience. So your industry may have some nuances that are specific to it that would dictate what you want to do from a strategy standpoint. 3, are you there at the bottom of that funnel or across all of the customer needs and wants? And this goes back to our moments. When I want to know about something and you're not there to show me about it, I'm not going to get to that point where I want to buy from you because I don't know who you are. You didn't give me any information or any reason to buy from you. So we want to be there at the other parts of the funnel, and YouTube is one of those places. Hey, I'd like to know more about product X. I just found out, now I might go to that website and continue to make a purchase. And then are you considering the various contexts of those needs and adjusting the strategy accordingly? Digital is very, very nebulous. We have to always be on our toes. As you said before, set it, but do not forget it. And now being useful. Almost 3/4 of us say that getting good, regular information from a company is the most important thing to them. And more than half of us have bought from a brand other than that first one we thought about because I got better information. If you customize information to my location and where I'm at, essentially saying that you know who I am, you know that I'm nearby, I'm more likely to buy from you. So an example here would be, I have a pizza parlor, I'm running a lunch special, I'm going to bid very aggressively from 10 to 2 to get everyone who's within 2 miles of my restaurant, because I want that traffic. It's lunchtime, it's busy in the city. I can run an ad from 10 to 2 that literally hits those people within that radius very hard, and no one else is going to outbid me there because I'm running that for 4 hours. But because you know that I'm nearby, I'm very likely to buy from you. It's a lot less broad and a lot more granular the way we have to market to people. But the thing is, we have that information, so it's not a difficult prospect. So about being useful, what do people really want to know about you? So for LASIK, I did a conference for LASIK surgeons recently, and the main questions: how much is it going to cost? Is it going to hurt? And will I be out of work for a week? If you have questions like these for your industry or your business that people regularly ask, oh yeah, everyone asks me that first thing, here's the answer. A good idea is to strategize your content to answer those questions before they have to ask. Because if I have to ask, how much does it cost? How long is it going to take? Every time, that's friction. And if another person gives me that information up front, I may be closer to making a purchase there because there's no friction. Are you helping people find nearby locations on their mobile devices? There are a lot of things we can do. You've all seen the directions button and click to call, things like that. I won't talk much about it. We're actually experimenting with click to text. A lot of people have told us they really want to engage with businesses via text. That's just what they do. My daughter asks me why I call her when I'm calling her, because she always texts. And a lot of our customers are the same way. If I can text you and get an answer for the purchase I want to make, I might just do that. And then where are they researching you? We have a lot of data on where people are and what they're doing online. And we can tell where they're researching you, and we can help you market to those places, to those, whether they're specific websites, or maybe it's a customer profile, running enthusiasts or something like that. Be quick. This is paramount. If speed thrills, friction most certainly kills. 40% of us abandon a site that takes more than 3 seconds. That's incredible. That is not a lot of time. And 29% of us will immediately switch if it's too slow. 20% of those of us never ever come back. So as a first impression, it's important that you don't have that happen, because 1 in 5 will never ever come back to you, no matter how good you end up getting with your web message and your digital content. So first impression is very key. So key questions about being quick. What's the key action you want people to perform when they go to your site on a mobile device? And how long does that take? Well, I want them to sign up for a subscription. I want them to call me for a consult. Whatever that is, make it seamless, make it very intuitive and quick, because that's where friction becomes a problem for you. A lot of times we'll work with companies to decrease the amount of fields in their forms. Well, we have them fill out all these these information because we need that. Well, you're getting a better return rate when you remove one of those maybe not necessary fields, for example. What do you already know about your customer that can help you anticipate their needs? Back to the FAQ. I know that you're concerned about the cost. I know you think it's going to take this long. Here's why it won't, and then let's continue to talk. Anticipate those needs. And then the last and most important, how long does it take for your site to load? We have several free tools on Google to enable you to check your site, whether it's mobile or a standard site. And to that point, really, we should not be designing for mobile or making a mobile version. As new countries adopt the internet, third world countries and things like that, they're doing so with cell phones and not with computers necessarily. So mobile site loading is very important. It has to be a very high priority for you. And then last, connect the dots. Micromoments have fragmented this customer journey. We're all over the place. In the middle of the day, I might start a process that I don't continue till later that night. We're doing that across screens. 90% of us actually use more than one device to make any purchase. So if we're not following them, if we're not identifying that activity, it's more difficult for us to get them. Digital drives people in store. We're doing some things right now to correlate online and offline a lot more. And one of those things we're releasing soon, it's in beta now, but it's called beacons. And these are basically little Bluetooth lighthouses that are installed in retail locations that can say, hey, you're in my store. I know that you were searching for this purse 2 days ago. Guess what? It's on aisle 3 and it's for sale today. When we can tie in what they're doing on their phones and on their computers with real live foot traffic, that's when a business can really, especially one that's a little bit tentative about digital, can really get into it. Wow, you're telling me that I can identify behavior that then correlates to foot traffic and sales in my store. That's great. So you'll be hearing a lot more about beacons and that technology in the coming months and year. And mobile's the new shopping assistant. A lot of us will use it in the store. I mean, I sure do. When I'm in the store, I'm checking for coupons, I'm looking at prices, is this the cheapest, all that kind of stuff. And essentially what all this boils down to is, and same for keyword planner changes and ETA, we're looking for people to do things ethically. We're looking for people to do things the right way. The reason we've had to do algorithm changes is because people game that system to the point where it's broken, and it's not as useful for those of us who actually use it, the marketing community. So when Keyword Planner was commuted recently, many feel it was a money play. Google wants more of our money. The truth is, click farms and bots and illicit activity has made Keyword Planner so diluted that we had to take some action. And what we've done there is make it so if you're using AdWords, you can use Keyword Planner to its full potential. If not, we have to do something to regulate the bad activity from Ukraine, Vietnam, and everywhere else. But if you have specific questions about stuff like that, please come to me later. Key questions about connecting the dots. Are you measuring for clicks and sessions, or are you just measuring that bottom line? Again, funnel, all over the place. We want to know when they start getting curious, when they're looking for info, when they're watching our videos, things like that, in order to get them to the end goal of making that purchase. Are you accounting for all types of mobile-driven conversions? And what can your organization do to break down silos? What that really just means is, our social media people, our content marketers, our SEO, these should be having more, they're working together more often now than ever. And from a marketing standpoint, that social media engagement and the SEO optimization and PPC and all that, it really has converged to where we don't want to have a company that breaks that down and has those people not talking. This is a conversation that sort of bleeds into all the others. So a strategic checklist for everybody regarding Micromoments. Identify those moments and understand your share of intent. Your moments are different than someone else's, but they exist, they're there, and we can help you find them and market to them. Tap into those passions that your audience has. Use our location signals. GPS and phone technology has gotten to the point where we can do a lot of really cool things with it, and ethically too, of course. Being quick, eliminate those unnecessary steps, whether it's a form or your full website in a mobile version. Do I really need to see about us and things like that, maybe on a mobile? If I'm trying to drive conversions, perhaps not. And then connect the dots. We're able to help you measure across these screens and across these channels to determine what this behavior dictates. What can I glean from this? Well, it looks like when they do this, they're more likely to purchase. When they do that, I should market to them this way. Connect those dots. So why would anyone work with Weum? Well, besides Marilyn and Clayton and everyone are great people, at Google we started a program a few years ago called Google Partners. Our goal there is not to take money from the people that have the biggest pockets. It's not a money thing at all. To be a Google partner, you have to do things the right way by Google, which means creative best practices with AdWords. We have a platform that's very rich, and if you use it properly, there are a lot of benefits you can get from it. But the other one is customer care. So when people work with an agency and advertise with Google, we want to make sure that continues. We want everyone to be happy. You're getting ROI, you're getting your fees, we're getting our fees as well. Everything's great, everyone's happy. So our partners are those who do those things the best. Market knowledge is one of the things they have. If I'm running a campaign for real estate and I work with an agency that's done 100 real estate campaigns, you can bet that they've gone through the pitfalls of AdWords and negative keyword lists and which extensions work and all that kind of stuff so that I don't have to. Secondly, performance. Our highest performing accounts typically come from our really strong agencies and hence the partnership. We want to support the efforts of agencies that do things right for the sake of doing things right. Don't be evil is a very real philosophy. Contrary to some of the comments I might have heard earlier, Joe. No, I know it's not personal. But time is the other one, and then probably the most prevalent one. People don't have time to market digitally with the rich interface that AdWords is when they're managing a business or running a business. So it's become very common for those people to offload that work to an agency that knows how to do it and works directly with Google to do that. Marilyn and the crew at Weum can actually get on the phone with us for anything, whether it's a new client that needs help with an ad or a campaign, or questions they have about the future of their business, anything like that. When you're working with a partner, you're working directly with Google and you have that access. So what does that mean to you, though? Optimal performance, we have a dedicated team that helps troubleshoot that kind of stuff and whatever issues you have. Cutting edge products as well. And growth is our main thing. We really know how to make your business grow with AdWords and with all the solutions that Google offers. So when you're working with someone like Weum, you have sort of an insurance policy on your AdWords campaign, because if something happens that they don't know about, we know about it, and they can work with us to work through that. So, almost exactly 30 minutes. Thanks for attending, everybody. Questions and answers I will provide to anyone who has them afterwards. But thanks for having me.